to go live with the video that I'm doing today, but a lot has happened. I was out of town, came back from out of town, found out that I had the flu B to be exact, and yeah, I just didn't have it. Okay, I didn't have it. So we're just gonna jump right into it. I'm going to actually use a 10 and a 20 volume on it. We've got gloves here. These are reusables. So we're going to have our gloves. We've got 10 volume developer. I'm going to mix it with a little bit of 20 because I do want it to lift over one level because of the gray hair. The 20 is going to kind of soften that gray hair. I'm going to be using a little bit of a 6 neutral and a 6 warm blonde. I think it's a 6 warm blonde. So the 6 neutral and the 6 warm blonde. So all I'm going to do is, like I say, I'm just going to kind of go in, as you can see, go down each row and get those together. I'm not going to run them to the ends. As you guys know, I highlighted it or put some highlights in it at some point. And so, yes, I just want to, just get rid of that gray. And it's not terribly gray, but I just don't like the way that it kind of looks and mixes with my hair. So we have a color bowl, color brush. I got on an old shirt because I don't want any color getting on it. I'm actually going to mix about equal parts. This live is actually going to go quick because it doesn't take me very long because obviously I'm a professional. But yes, I'm just going to squeeze. And usually, if you give me a second, I've got a color key that I usually use when I'm doing the retouch on my locks. Now, it's important when you are doing color at home, if you color your own locks, it's important to remember to only do your new growth. So if, like for me, I like the dimension of the color on my locks, so I'm not gonna pass it through. Now, sometimes over time, if you wanna kind of pass it through the last few minutes of it, you can, but the important part is to just kind of get in those roots really good, okay? So remember, if you have over 50% gray, a technique you can use is putting just your developer on the roots for about 20 minutes before applying the color. But since I'm not necessarily 50% gray, so I'm not going to worry about using the developer to soften. High Spirit Crafts, I think you've been on one of my lives before. Welcome back. Good morning, good afternoon, because it's afternoon now. 6N with the 6 warm blonde. And I wish I had my color key, but I don't want to get off camera to do so. So equal parts of color, covering up the gray for those that have come in. Yes, you have indeed. Hey, Dark Raven. It's time to duel. Imagine. Do it. So equal parts. This is my 6 neutral. Or 6 warm blonde. It says 6 warm blonde, but like I say, put it in your color bowl, and like I say, equal parts. And whatever color you're using, this is from a hairdresser to everybody out there that if you don't want to sit in the salon, do your color, hey. Also, it's been about 8 weeks since I've touched up my color. I have actually retightened my locks twice since doing the last color. And since I did the highlights maybe about a month and a half, well, probably about a month ago. So I might pass it through just a little bit just to kind of even things out. But for the most part, I just want to kind of cover that gray and get that taken care of because I got a birthday coming up. Team Taurus all the way. It's almost Taurus season, baby. Best zodiac sign. And I'm not trying to let nobody know how old I am. I mean, I don't care because a lot of people think I'm younger than I am, and that's good. Good skincare regimen. I will be doing a live also on how to do a chemical peel. And it says, let's see. Okay. Our battle will be legendary. Ain't I pressing? Okay. So we are jumping right into it. I've got both colors in. There is a measuring tool in the bottom of the bowl. Like I said, it's a 6 neutral, 6 warm blind. And I'm getting ready to put both my 10 and 20. Because again, I don't want to, let me show you that. This is the 10. I don't want that to spill out, but this is the 10. I don't have it much of it left. I had it pre-measured. So this is going to go in the bowl. Okay. And you can do this even with color outside of your Microlocs. I'm just kind of trying to show y'all the proper way to do them. Equal parts of the 20. I do a little bit less because I do want it to lift more than one level. The first number is how many levels. So this is a 10, 1 level. 20, 2 levels. 30 volume 3, 40 volume 4 levels, up to 4 levels. So that's a little FYI for those that are trying to learn about color and they're doing it at home. Again, thank you for everybody that has joined in trying to learn a little bit about their color. I'm going to put my gloves on. I'm just going to mix all of that up real nicely. And like I said, it's just equal parts of each color. It'll be somewhat to the color that it was, but we do know that, you know, with gray hair, it tends to be a little bit more resistant. And this video is just to kind of show you how to properly apply that to your roots, okay? Like I said, not long ago, I touched, as you can see, I put some highlights in it. I like dimension. My natural hair is dark. And although you've seen like my reels and stuff where I've had the darker hair, I just kind of feel like with my skin tone, because I pull gold, I don't know, my hair just looks better when it's a little bit lighter. So we're just gonna get those disposable gloves on. I'll reuse, these usually come in a 10 pack. So it's 5 pairs of gloves. You can wash and reuse 1 pair, and a whole bag will last you for, depending on how much color you use. If you're in the salon, you know, you're gonna go through these pretty quick, but at home, you'll have them a while. Or you can use the plastic disposable ones, but I just find that those tear a lot. Especially if I have my wedding rings on, which I try to take those off when I'm doing color for that reason, so they don't tear my good gloves. So anyway, jumping right in. So we just go, I always start in the center of my head, okay? My parts, for the most part, for me to be a DIYer, doing Microlocs is pretty good. But yeah, so we just gonna just jump right in. Try to stay as close to all the little hairs that come out. Because sometimes with Microlocs, you get a lot of little stray hairs that, you know, I use like my little tool when I retighten them. But for the most part, I just kind of, like I say, go in. And I've been doing color and hair so long, I know some people say, well, what happens when I get to the back? Some people use a mirror. In my case, I can feel it. So I don't necessarily have to see it because I can feel it. But yeah, just make sure you get around that hairline nice. Just go around. So get the edges, especially now the sides of my hair get extremely dark. And I always try to go around the front because I don't know if you guys can tell, but like right here, I have a little gray patch that is, no matter what I do, that it just kind of comes through. So I try to apply it here first so it stays on the longest. So that developer kind of softens and it allows me to get even coverage. So yeah, I just go through each section of my locks. You can use the tail end of the brush, but since it's locks, now if you're coloring your hair, prayerfully use the tips that I've shown you to do so. If you're unsure, please, please, please get somebody that knows. Or you can inbox me. I was supposed to be doing my whitening strips, which are working immaculately, as you can tell. If you email me, it is a sponsorship that I did for a company. I used them and I love them. I'm actually on my last 2 strips outside of the pen. And if you want that kit for free, if you order it and you try it out, like I said, not that my teeth were extremely yellow or anything like that, but I did like how I like white teeth. So I think it turned out really good. So email Cosmo Vlogs. Let me know you purchased them. I do have a video that I did on it. It has the instructions. It's for the Care for whitening strips, and you will get those free. So I'm supposed to be putting those on, so I'll be doing that in a minute. But yeah, just lift each section up. I add a little tension to the ends so I can cleanly separate my locks, as you can see. And they've gotten really long, guys. I am super proud. Today is March the 22nd. April the 1st marks 2 official years of me doing my locks, starting them. That's the day that I finished. So that's kind of like my first official day. Because like I said, I'm a DIYer / hairdresser. I'm going to always tell you guys that 100 million times. And I just kind of, let's see, want everybody to know, like, yo, she's coloring her own hair. Does she know what she's doing? Yes, your girl knows what she's doing. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm going to show you what to do once you get to the bag. Like I say, I try to get this particular side because it's kind of like a hereditary gray patch that I get. And like I say, I'll color it and it stays colored. And within a few weeks, I can always tell. And also, guys, on this side where my hair is a little bit thinner, I had thought to use, but I've been using it since I came back from out of town. My mom gave it to me. It's Botana oil. And Botana oil is known to increase volume and thin hair. And my edges have been somewhat thin since I was getting it pressed as a child. And if you are the product of the 80s, little black girls used to get their hair pressed. And I'm here to tell you, knowing what I know today as a parent and a hairdresser, because I am going to add that, yeah, it's just too much. Let kids' hair just be kids. I mean, just braid it up, put some puffs, do something cute with it. But just, yeah, I'm the product of tight ponytails, hot pressing combs, just too much. And as you can see, like I said, I'm just lifting these up. I try to go row by row. Okay, see, I'm on this row. So even though that color kind of came through from the other side, I like to kind of go in and make sure that I'm still getting each section. And I'll be honest with you, this may be an asthma for somebody, because anytime I'm watching videos just of like people doing their hair and they're sectioning it off, it's an asthma for me. You can draw me in with something like that. I just be sitting there. It's just about people like lifting the hair up and putting the color on it. I don't know. It is for me. So anyway, this may be an asthma for somebody. Section it, lift those locks up. Okay. And if you need a little bit of a color refresh from that gray, if you have gray strands like me, the last 10 minutes, you can actually smooth this through the ends of the hair, because you got to remember it's going to, after a couple shampoos, it'll kind of wash off anyway. So, yeah, we're just going to, like I say, make sure we get those roots nice and saturated. I usually have clips, but I didn't feel like I needed them today because, like I said, just wanted to kind of get in here and get it done for my day starts. And if you just now joining the live, when I first got on, I was telling everybody I was supposed to have colored my locks before today, but I came back from out of town and I found out that I had flu B. Now, apparently there's different types of flu. Now, the only symptom that I had or have is the fatigue, the extreme fatigue. I had some headaches, but I just thought it was just the barometric pressure or hormones, but come to find out it was, like I said, it was the flu. So, yeah, long story short, y'all be safe out here. Keep your hands clean and avoid people that are sick. So I was better enough today that I was like, I got to get on here and film my color. I need to do my color because I'm not always going to be feeling this way and I want my hair done. So, but I am much better. So just a lot of prayer and oregano tea and a lot of fluids and steroids that they gave me at the doctor. So yeah, as you can see, like I said, I went around my edges in the beginning first. Just because, like I say, that gray kind of is a little bit more stubborn. Anywhere you have stubborn gray hair, you want to make sure to get that first. And on this next section, I'm going to be looking in my mirror here to ensure that I'm getting all the color that I need. Like on the screen is a lot brighter than my bathroom. I have it's an overhead light. And as you can see, it is getting that gray really nice. Okay, so as I kind of get on the sides, I'll use the end of my color brush just because it does make it a little bit easier to get in there. And if you have any questions while I'm putting this on, if you're wanting to color your locks or your hair at home, feel free to drop a comment below while I'm on the live or just message me. Look how long they done got, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, 2 years, April 1st. Okay, so yeah, I just, like I said, I go around the sides because I'm still able to see that. And again, like I said, that's where that gray kind of shows. And I don't so much mind when the roots grow in and they're a little bit darker. It's just that it's mixed with the gray hair that I don't like. You know, like I say, avoid the ends of your hair at all costs. Because again, if you want to do like a color refresh, you can do that the last 10 minutes that this is on. Like I said, I just get all of these. And I think, let's see, today is Saturday. So probably tomorrow or Monday, I'll go in and kind of retighten my locks. Especially around the sides. Because I've kind of feel like since doing these, my sides just grow in a lot quicker than they did even when I was wearing relaxers and just wearing my hair. So yeah, I'm just, like I said, you can see where that gray that's usually right here, that's resistant. See, even if I pull that color off, see, you can already tell that color's been deposited. So always put where that gray hair is first. So yeah, now I'm going around the back. And like I was saying, some people are like, well, how do you see the back? I can just feel because, again, just been doing it a long time. And I can always, and sometimes, which I've got gloves on, but I can tell if it has color on it or not. And so, yeah, like I say, I just go row by row because my parts are really clean on my locks. For me to, like I say, do them. And for the questions, if people say, well, how often are you retightening them? When you first start them, they say it's wise to retighten them every 4 to 6 weeks. And I'm just going to say it depends on the hair growth. Because I feel like at this point, I'm probably retightening my locks probably every 4 to 6 weeks. One time I went 8 weeks and I won't do that again because I had quite a bit of outgrowth or new growth, and it was just harder to clean my parts up, and I'm DIY. So it took me over the course of a couple of days because I've got other stuff that I have going on. So I'm not just sitting and doing all of it at one time. So yeah, it took me a lot longer than I wanted. So I say I like to retouch these at least every 5 to 6 weeks. I'm going in, I'm using my crochet needle, and I'm using the little tool that I showed you guys that one time. I don't think I showed you on the live, but I did a video. It's like a little crochet tool, and I'll go get it here shortly. But I use that, the crochet needle more so on my shorter locks. And then on my longer ones, I just use that little tool unless I have like some loose hairs. That crochet needle helps me to get in there, kind of interlock them without much trouble. And then I use like my little tool to get all the extra hairs. So yeah, it just kind of makes it a little better. And I'm going to show you guys something too, because my locks definitely need some moisture. I'm actually going to do a color refresh on the ends where you pull the color through the last 10 minutes. But I'm actually going to put some keratin by Apogee. I've been using it for years. I'm actually going to put that on the ends of my locks while this is processing. Just so that I can, you know, just give them a little bit of moisture before I shampoo it. And I'm trying to debate on, am I going to hop in the shower and shampoo them, or am I going to just do it in the sink? I think I'm just going to do it in the sink. Now, I'm not going to do that on the live, showing you how to shampoo it. That is a video maybe to come. I don't know if I'll do it on the live because it's just about getting the setup done. You know, trying to set up my camera and the tripod. And I've actually got a couple of different tripods and things that I use to film. But I just don't want to fool with it today. So, now I'm just getting the back perimeter. I will show you guys in a second. Just getting my kitchen back here. Around the sides. And like I say, usually I go through and feel and make sure, especially in this part, in the crown, you know, make sure that you're getting in there. Because a lot of people, when you color, a lot of people that I meet, they'll say, I miss the top of my head. And I'm like, yeah, because that's the part that gets neglected the most. Like when most people shampoo their hair, they just take the shampoo and go like this and put a big glob in the hair without emulsifying it first. Big mistake. You don't want to do that. You always, before you put shampoo onto the hair, you always want to rub it in your hands first. And at that point, yeah, I've got pretty much everything covered in here. Like I say, I can feel where that color is or isn't. And if I feel like it needs an extra layer, I just go in. If it's easier, go horizontal. Just kind of part it like so. Like I'm showing you. And put that color there just like that. Now watch this. And turn around. So we're just going to go in. Put it at the roots. Do your next horizontal section. If you want to use your brush fine or your hands. And just kind of go in and work that color through there. Very simple. So you can go horizontal or you can go vertical. As you can see, the color is taking really good. No more gray hair. At least for, like I said, it's been about 8 weeks since I put the color on. And it just was, it was time. But I just didn't make the time to do it because I had a lot going on. I was like I said, for those that's joining, I was out of town and I had the flu B. Who knew that there's different types of flu? Flu is flu to me. But had the flus. I guess it's still in my body. I'm just, didn't have any symptoms. No stuffy nose, no fever. Went to the doctor. They took my temperature. But like I said, I'm one of those people, it's mind over matter. So I was like, I'm pushing through and I'm doing my live today on my locks. Okay. So, and also that email for my white strips. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to actually grab those. And my conditioner. All right. So my strips here that I'm getting ready to put on was supposed to be put on at the beginning of the video. And my conditioner that goes on the ends. All right. Which is my Apogee. This right here, this is the 2-minute reconstructor. I'm actually going to put these on the ends of my locks while the color's processing before I do the color refresh. Okay. All right, so first, I just want to make sure that I've got that color throughout it. And I think I've got it pretty much. I try to get up here because for some reason, these little hairs just kind of get wild through here. So I think I'm good. I've got just enough color. I'm going to show you the bowl to show you how much you're going to need for your ends. Let's see. And again, like I say, whatever's comfortable, horizontal or vertical. Okay, here we go. I think we're good. This is how much we have left. You don't need very much because you're just going to smooth that color down to the roots the last 10 minutes. While that's processing, let me rinse my gloves. We're also going to use a shower bag once I put the conditioner on. And again, like I said, I don't know if you weren't tuned in, I'm not going to shampoo them out on camera. I just wanted to show you how to properly apply the color to your locks. If you're a DIYer, I'm a hairdresser. I got to put that in for those that just tuned in. If you've never colored your locks before and you're wanting to know how to do it, everything that you see on my hair is self-taught. Did highlights about a month ago, and the color has been about 8 weeks ago. So I'm just going to take some of that Effigy Reconstructor, and it's really thick, so sometimes it does get stuck in the tube. Okay, there we go. That's ample amount right here to emulsify. Always emulsify your products before applying it, and just take it through the lock. So try to avoid the color. Now, it's not going to affect it if you don't, if you do touch the color, it's fine. But see how it coats it just so quickly and easily and beautifully. And this is a secret right here because keratin is a protein. Now, I do want to add, when adding keratin to the hair or a protein to the hair, you want to be super careful because keratin and protein can actually break the hair if it's not properly rinsed the way that it needs to be. But just kind of work all the way up to where that color dips off. Okay, so like I say, this is going to be our last dose. You don't need probably a quarter size amount, maybe more for longer locks, but mine are, they getting there, but they not like down my back yet or nothing like it. So just apply that to the ends. We're actually going to put a bag on them. We'll come back on the next live because I will do 2 lives today because I feel like I'm behind because I wanted to show you guys the chemical peel, or yeah, chemical peel, but I'm doing a glycolic acid peel. Oh yeah, guys, this feels so good. It's something about when they're wet and they have, I don't know, it's like my hair, the locks are just drinking up all the goodness. It's just, you know. And then I'm going to show you on that video what I put in them. I've used different things, okay? So currently, after I shampoo my locks out, I use the Miel, it's the honey and pomegranate. It's a leave-in. And I get the single packs, but I have like a little 4-ounce jar. And I put I take 2 packs of those, which run like, usually you can get them for about $2-3, but I got these on sale. They're like $1.50 a piece. And I put that on my hair prior to styling it or just kind of letting it air dry. So now that conditioner is on, the Effigy, for those that just tuned in, is this right here. It's the 2-minute reconstructor. You want it adds softness. I mean, you can use this. I used to use this in the salon on like color treated hair that has, you know, heat. It's really good for that too. So that keratin can kind of put back in because locks, believe it or not, color treated hair in general gets really dry. So you just want to make sure that you are keeping, and look, I missed a little spot. You want to make sure that you're keeping your locks moisturized and you're using the right products for your hair type. For me, I have 4C hair. So I wanted to show y'all exactly what 4C hair looks like when the lock hasn't budded. I actually have one over here somewhere. Let me see. I had my hair up in my little ponytails earlier, and I was able to see it. But my hair being 4C, it's really coily, and it's in here somewhere. But yeah, I have 4C. There it is. I just dropped it. But I have 4C hair. So this one, say for instance, has not budded like the rest of them. But it has, you can tell if my hair wasn't locked, that's how tight the curl would be. I had another one in here too, but yeah. So when you have 4C hair, you're doing color, you're doing different things, it really can get dry. So make sure that you're moisturizing them and doing what you need to do. So usually, because I've been on this live for about, it says 30 minutes, 41 seconds. The color I run through the ends, toward the ends, but see, now that you have your conditioner on there, it's safe to kind of go in because I do have the highlights. If you don't want to use the color that you have left in the bowl, I always leave just enough. For instance, you can take the color that you have, since you have your gloves on, and just work it down that lock just like so. Try to avoid the ones that have the highlights on them, because I just foil those individually. I don't like take a whole bunch. As you can see, I don't take a whole bunch of my locks and highlight them. I just do literally one per foil. So that's one way to do it. Because again, if you're kind of combating that gray hair, you can just kind of, like I say, just work it down just slightly. Or if you feel like if your locks are extremely long, just take that brush like this, go down it slightly, just kind of brush it. Just like you painting a Picasso. You can just kind of, like I say, it's just a color refresh. And even though this is a permanent color, your hair is not going to darken any lower than the level of color in which you've chosen. This, I use a little bit of a 6 neutral, and I use a 6 warm blonde. Last time I used an 8, and I felt like it really kind of kept some of that gold in there. So the last time I colored it, I was like, I really liked the color so much that I just decided to stick with it. And see, see how the ends are still so much lighter, but I have the 2-minute reconstructor on it. Okay. And like I said, I'm just going to lightly just kind of, like I say, just lightly just kind of brush it on and just rub your fingers through it just like so. That's all that I do. And prayerfully, most of you are adding water or something to your locks every day just to moisturize them. I usually take my spray water bottle, which I know some of you have seen me doing like my videos. When I come back on my second live, you'll get to see what I do. I'll actually bring my water bottle in here. But yeah, I just kind of take it. And like I say, if you don't want to paint it with the brush, just work the color that you have on the roots down. Because again, 30 to 35 minutes is my tops when touching up my roots. Now, you can leave it on longer, but at that point, once the color's been on, it's not going to lift or deposit any more than it already has. So you don't have to, be thinking, oh, if I leave the color. No, because after so long, it's oxidized. It's going to be what it is. So you don't have to worry about it going like. Now, if you're using bleach, yeah, you do have to worry. Okay? And again, if you're going to, I did use bleach on my locks. If you're going to be lightening your locks, if you don't know what you're doing, please don't jeopardize the integrity of them by bleaching them and you don't know what you're doing. Because I have seen people grow their locks out, and I thought about doing like a reaction video. This one girl has some locks. They were probably like to here. And she went in and bleached these locks. She used a high developer. She left the bleach on too long. And she was literally taking clumps of her locks out like this. So all those years, all that sacrifice was just down. I mean, you see my little cola shirt. It went down the drain. It went down the cola drain. So I would have been really upset with myself. Like, I grew my locks out for years. only to bleach them, and now, I mean, it was a mess. And I might have to find a video and just kind of upload that and show you guys what I mean. So if you're not really sure of how you should lighten them, maybe I could do a live on it, kind of walk you through that. For anybody that's interested, just hit me up, let me know. Okay, so now that I've got that on, we've got about, I say about 6 to 10 minutes. This is going to get shampooed out. I got on an old shirt, or always wear this shirt, or I got another shirt that I use. And also, guys, a lot of people, I seen a video where there was somebody on there complaining about when they run products through their locks, a lot of little hair shed. And even with me put my color on, there's maybe just a few little hairs. I'll show you on camera, but I don't really get a lot of shedding. But I do have really coarse, 4C thick hair. I try not to sound so country, okay? A lot of people like, are you from St. Louis? The Midwest, because I say there, and I am from the Midwest, okay? Even though that's why it says Kentucky Southern Belle. So now that that's done, I'm gonna take my gloves off. Remember, we got it says 36 into it. We have about 5 minutes before this gets shampooed off. And look at it. It is gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Still have my highlights. Don't worry about your highlights getting too dark, because it's not going to stay on long enough. My hair is porous, so it's going to open up. Most of that color is going to come out. These are the strips I was telling you about, the Care4 alcohol-free. If you use these, if you buy these, the link is in the video that I did. If you order these, you get these back for free. Just email me at CosmoVlogs37, which is CosmosVlogs37 at gmail.com. This strip here, you just open it. It's one for the bottom teeth, one for the top teeth. And I've really enjoyed them. And I mean, because I'm just really particular about my teeth. It's the first thing people see. And it's the first thing I see in the morning. So this one goes on. I have really sensitive teeth. So these are the only strips that I've used that I can genuinely say that I like. And then, of course, the bottom one. And it doesn't burn or irritate either. Here you go. Done. So, while I'm waiting on my color, this live will end, but I will pick up after I'm shampooed out. You want to make sure that you're using a color-treated shampoo, or at least a moisturizing shampoo on your color. Throw all this away. Clean up. You want to make sure you're using moisturizing. Let me show you what I'm going to be using. Hang on a second. Okay, so first of all, I'm actually going to combine this with a clarifying shampoo. This is the Care. This is a hydrating, detangling shampoo. This is really good for natural hair. I have used this for years. I've used it in the shop. Love it. This is really good. It's sulfate free. Even though it's not a color treated shampoo, I will be using like a little bit of clarifying. So I kind of feel like that will help to kind of get any extra color that I don't need on it. And it works out just fine. Because like I say, after you shampoo your locks a couple times, for people that ask me how often do I shampoo them, I shampoo my locks I've seen people say, well, I only shampoo my locks every 10 weeks or 8 weeks. I can't do that. Because anybody that knows me knows that my motto is, look, cleanliness is next to godliness. And I'm not getting ready to be laying my head on, I'm not getting ready to be laying my head on a pillow at night with no dirty hair for weeks and weeks at a time, baby. I got to shampoo. That's just that on that. Because I don't do dirty skin. I don't do dirty hair. And people don't realize dirty pillowcases, sorry, these strips, see, look, they really whiten, guys. Like, I love them. Dirty pillowcases and things like that contribute to skin breakouts, itchy scalp, dandruff, which dandruff is a fungus. So, yeah, you definitely want to be making sure you take care of that. Just make sure you're cleaning those pillowcases, cleaning your skin, cleansing your skin, and cleansing your hair. So I shampoo my locks every, I did the color today. So it's been about 3 weeks since I shampooed my locks. I normally do not go longer than three weeks. Even if I don't retighten them, I'm shampooing them and kind of just conditioning my ends and making sure they're good. So my color's good and the time is right. We got about a minute left. We are getting ready to shampoo this out. I'm super excited. Get my towel that I have prepared off of the door. And like I say, I will not be shampooing on camera just because I got to set up angles. My daughter be running around here topless, so I'm not trying to have her on camera. So I'm just going to do everything and then come back. Because remember, my second live, I'm going to be showing you guys how I keep my skin like this. I use a little glycolic peel. I'm using my derma rollers as well to kind of bring that blood flow up to the surface. I need to be getting a little more sleep right here, but I do take antioxidants and collagen. So yeah, we've got about 30 seconds and we're ready to end this. When I come back, the color will be completely shampooed out. You will get to see the finished product and we'll be moving on to the next segment. So until next time, guys, tune in, stay tuned, be on the lookout for my next live in the next, I said it should be done about the next 20 minutes because I'm going to thoroughly shampoo it out and get it ready. And so I'll see you guys then. Bye.